I want to talk to you about banks that pull Equifax this year. So here's a list I want you to pay attention to. The first bank that pulls Equifax is KeyBank, and the cool thing about KeyBank is that they pull Equifax across the board for credit cards, for loans, for lines of credit, not only at the individual level but also at the business level. And also, what we love about KeyBank is that they actually approve you real fast. For credit cards, they will approve you within 24 hours. For loans, they will approve you within 2 days. So in terms of flexibility, that's really fantastic. And now there are actually some cases where they also might give you a soft pull sort of process. So instead of having a hard pull right away, you can actually see if you can pre-qualify for a loan or credit card through a KeyBank. Now they have several ways to make that happen. They can actually send you a solicited offer in the mail or via email. So via snail mail or via email, you actually can go through the app, through the KeyBank mobile app, and see if you have some offers there. I mean, KeyBank occasionally will push a little bit of solicitations to its members. So just be on the lookout for it. And so what we love about KeyBank is that of course this is not a national bank, right? KeyBank is not similar to Chase or Wells Fargo or Bank of America or even Citi. So they are a regional mid-tier bank. But hey, listen, it's still good because they are available in 20-something states. So that's really fantastic. And KeyBank is really generous in terms of loans. For instance, loans they will give you somewhere from $2,000 all the way to $50,000. Okay, and in terms of repayment, you are able to repay your loan over 84 months. So you're looking at 7 years. 7 years, that's really good. And in terms of credit card, they are actually very generous. Also, credit cards that will give you a maximum of $50,000 if you are applying for an individual credit card. But if you are applying for a business credit card, you can be approved for a maximum of $100,000. And so I was just telling you a little earlier that KeyBank is not available nationally. They're available in Arkansas, Colorado, Connecticut, Idaho, Indiana, Massachusetts, Maine, Michigan, New York, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Utah, Vermont, and Washington State. So if you're looking for the banks that pull Equifax this year, I want you to think about Truist. And what we love about Truist is that Truist actually tends to approve you real fast also. So Truist will pull Equifax for credit cards, for loans, for lines of credit, for mortgages, and what have you. And Truist actually is the culmination, or let's say the brainchild of BB&T and SunTrust. So those two banks merged a couple of years ago to create Truist. And Truist is very generous in terms of by the way, Truist also has an online arm, and so they have so you can apply for a regular, you can go to a branch, or you can just apply online, not a problem. And maximum amount of cash you can get through Truist is $100,000. So 6 digits, fantastic. Now the amounts are not really high when you think about credit cards. Credit cards, they actually limit you at $50,000, and we've seen the average is around 25 grand if you have a good credit, and 10 grand if you have bad credit. But in terms of personal loans, they give you a minimum of $3,500 and a maximum of $100,000. So that's really good. And also Truist, in some cases, might actually push your way a pre-qual offer. So you actually have there's no commitment, there is no obligation. You don't have to go through a hard pull right away. So you go through a soft pull, and if you like what you see, then you can just go a little further. If you have any question, you can actually call 844-487-8478, 844-487-8478 to have a clear idea about what's really happening with Truist. But the cool thing is that Truist has a lot of loans, a lot of lines of credit, by the way. And they actually have a lot of credit cards. So we love that. A lot of fantastic credit card, very generous. So maximum $100,000. And you can actually qualify real fast too. So once you're approved, you can get funded within 24 hours. 24 hours, you get your cash. But you got to have a Truist bank account though. You got to have a Truist bank account. Next, I want to talk to you about Discover Bank. So if you're thinking about banks that pull Equifax this year, I want you to really think about Discover Bank. Now, Discover Bank is not your regular traditional bank, if you will. Discover Bank is primarily an online bank. So when you go with Discover Bank, you basically have to accept the fact that you might actually open and actually run your transactions online. So Discover doesn't have like regular brick and mortar branches as a Citi or Wells Fargo or US Bank for that matter. You're gonna have to do things online. But the cool thing about Discover Bank is that Discover actually has a series of wonderful credit cards, right? And they also allow you to get a loan. Now, Discover doesn't have a business section to it, so if you're looking for a business loan or a business credit card, you're not going to find that through Discover. Discover used to have a business credit card, but before COVID, a few months before COVID, they actually stopped doing it. So they right now they focus mostly on individual cards, so personal credit cards. But the good thing we love about Discover is that basically their loans and credit cards are really good. They'll give you a maximum of $50,000, and the bank itself is also cool because it doesn't charge fees on any of its deposit products. The CDs, savings, and money market accounts all pay competitive rates, and the bank offers a highly rated cashback checking account. So from a liquidity management point of view, you will love Discover. Okay, and one thing I want to say also is that Discover has excellent customer support, and you have a wonderful digital experience. Also, a highly rated mobile app. You have that's really good. And one thing I want to say overall is that when you go with Discover, just be aware that you'll be doing a lot of things online. Okay, I mean, of course, you can actually call and somebody will pick up the phone, but there is no possibility for you to walk into a branch and say, you know what, I just need to talk to someone, and I just have a problem, and I just need to fix this problem. Now, maybe with the recent acquisition by Capital One, maybe you'll have access to a larger network. I mean, of course, the authorities, the regulators, still have to approve the Capital One offer to purchase Discover. Talking about Capital One. So Capital One is our fourth bank that pulls Equifax. And so if you are thinking about Capital One, I want you to think about a larger player than Discover, right? So Capital One is really well known for its banking. Of course, it's not really as the geographical footprint is not really as large as Citi, as Wells Fargo, as even TD Ameritrade Bank, I mean TD Bank, or even Santander, right? So Capital One is more limited, but the cool thing about Capital One is that you are able to get loans, credit cards. Now, Capital One doesn't offer, as of now, they don't offer personal loans. So if you go on the credit card side, you can also get personal credit cards and business credit cards. But on the loan side, you can only qualify for business loans. They do not actually issue personal loans as of yet. So this is something to really think about. But overall, when you think about Capital One as a bank that pulls Equifax, I want to insist on the fact that they were really fast. The bank is really fast when it comes to releasing the funds. So if you get approved, they will actually release the funds actually within 24 hours. Especially if you already have an account with them and you are asking them to wire the money to that account. That way you get your cash real fast. Okay, that's really fantastic. And Capital One also has a great digital experience. So you have a highly rated mobile app, and you also have a digital assistant. What we love about the digital assistant is that it's called Eno, and which you can interact with on the app or over text. And Eno can be used to actually check your balance, recent transactions, available credit, and payment dates. It can also be used to activate, lock, or replace a card, or even pay bills. I mean, think about that. So that's really great. I mean, what we love about Capital One overall is that you are able to have access to a series of credit products, from loans and credit cards to lines of credit and mortgages, and even student loans and auto loans. So that's really a wide gamut of credit products that you can qualify for through a Capital One. If you're thinking about the banks that pulls Equifax this year, I want you to really think about Fifth Third Bank. And Fifth Third Bank is a really wonderful bank. The cool thing about Fifth Third Bank is that you are able to be approved for loans, personal loans, for business loans, for business credit cards, and personal credit cards. Now, Fifth Third Bank is kind of similar to U.S. Bank or Key Bank because this is not a national bank. This is a regional mid-tier player. Okay, so something to really think about before you consider Fifth Third Bank. And in terms of loans, for instance, Fifth Third Bank actually has loans from $2,000 all the way to $50,000, and you have a simple digital application for loan amounts up to $25,000. And the terms available, you are looking at 12 to 60 months. So that's really good in terms of flexibility. You are able to get your cash real fast and repay it also like in a more relaxed manner. And you have no closing cost or prepayment fee. You have the ability to first select the payment date up to 45 days out. And the APR is kind of decent too. You're looking at an APR that goes from 8% all the way to 22%. Fantastic. And by the way, if you have any question, it's better that you call Fifth Third Bank at 866-671-5353. 866-671-5353. That way you have a clear idea about what's really happening, what's possible, okay? Or just go to a branch. I mean, Fifth Third Bank is not available nationally. It's available regionally. So if you are in a geography where you have a Fifth Third Bank branch, just walk in a branch and just talk to a manager, right? A branch manager, and ask all questions about this. But one thing you have to remember is that Fifth Third Bank doesn't have a soft pull sort of strategy. So if you go with Fifth Third Bank, you are having a hard pull right away. So they don't have a pre-qual sort of capability for you to see how much you can qualify for. Just expect your credit to be hard pulled right away if you were to go with Fifth Third Bank. If you're thinking about the banks that pull Equifax this year, I want you to think about Citizens Financial. And so what we love about Citizens Financial is that even though this is a regional bank, it's a bank that really grows real fast, okay? And it's actually the 14th largest bank in the U.S. with about 1,100 branches and 32,000 ATMs. And so they are actually in 14 states and the District of Columbia. That means what? 36 states don't have access to a physical location. But hey, listen, it's something that you have to think about. The good thing is that the bank allows you to do a lot of transactions online, okay? And Citizens Bank offers a plethora of banking products. So if you're looking for a robust CD and saving options with the bank, not a problem. One thing I need to say here is that Citizens Bank actually has a large area of loans and credit cards. So not only at the individual level, but also at the business level. So you are able to get something, something decent. Maybe on the loan side, you have a $100,000 maximum. On the personal side, on the business side, you have a $500,000. For credit cards, on the personal side, you have a $50,000. On the business side, you have a $250,000, so $250,000. So that's really decent, okay? And so one thing I want to say here is that when we think about Citizens Bank, I want you to think about a bank that is constantly changing, constantly bringing new products to the market, and they also have a private client arm. So there you can actually be approved for a maximum limit of $1 million on your credit card. So, but the thing is that you got to have $200,000 combined balance in all Citizens Bank accounts and investments to qualify for this account. Okay, if you were thinking about that, think about it, and you actually have a no Citizens Bank fee or on non-citizens ATM transactions, and the charges by other banks are rebated, and you have free checks, foreign exchange, and wire transfers, and also paper statements. So you have a lot of free stuff, but you got to have minimum, as I said before, $200,000 in combined balances to qualify for this account. Let me talk to you now about the last bank that pulls the Equifax this year. You have BMO Harris Bank. So BMO is really a great bank that we love a lot. And BMO is kind of similar to a Fifth Third Bank or Citizens in the sense that BMO is more a regional player than a national player. But the cool thing about BMO is that you have the possibility to get credit products real fast. As a matter of fact, BMO will actually will release the funds within 12 hours after approving you. So this is something that you really need to think about. And what I want to say also is that when you think about BMO, I want you to think about the maximum limit of $50,000 on credit cards, and on loans you have $100,000, $100,000. Okay, and you can use the cash for everything. You can use the cash for on loans and lines of credit. You can use the cash for. By the way, BMO also will take care of you on the business side. So personal side, but also business side. So that's really good. And so you can use the cash for everything. You can use the cash to purchase a new car, renovate your home, or handle that large upcoming expense that you've been thinking about. You can also use the loan to build or establish credit. Okay, so that's really the area of possibilities you have with BMO. And one thing I want to say also is that with BMO, it's just a lot better to contact them first. Okay, and they don't have actually the soft pull possibility. So if you want to apply for a loan through a loan or credit card through BMO, just be ready to have your FICO hard pulled. Okay, they don't have a soft pull sort of process. It's all hard pulls. But listen, you can call 1-888-340-2265. So 1-888-340-2265 to have a better idea about what BMO is actually offering this year. But what we love about BMO also is that it's kind of similar to Truist. They will release funds real fast after you got approved. So once you got approved, just make sure that you follow up and ask them. You have to direct them as to where to send the money, and preferably they will want you to have an account with them. So when you have an account with them, you can actually get your cash within 24 hours. So you get your cash within 24 hours, and you can use the money for everything. You can use the money for everything. Credit cards also are approved within 24 hours. So BMO overall is a really fast lender, really fast and generous lender that has been doing a lot of good stuff in the last few years. So that's really fantastic. And by the way, they just bought over a big bank out there in California, and so that's really an important element that will help BMO get closer to being a national player than being a regional one. So that's really fantastic. So here's the bottom line. Today's conversation, I share with you the banks that pull Equifax this year. So I give you the list. The list, we have Key Bank, Truist Bank, Discover Bank, Capital One, Fifth Third Bank, Citizens Financial, and last but not the least, we have BMO Harris Bank. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.